Why does everything feel like a rat race today? Is it just me or am I tripping? I want to ask you guys that question because today I was watching a video about how content creation is the new rat race. And I was listening to the points made in that video and I was like, dang, they low key spitting bars, you know? What he said was everybody's making the same content, everybody's copying off of each other, chasing virality, and on TikTok at least, everybody's you're stitching somebody else's video at the beginning and then just making an exaggerated reaction to that video. And I was thinking about it, and he was looking talking about me. I'm gonna be honest, he was talking about me because that's the type of content I make on TikTok. I react to other people's content and I just make reaction to it. And I'm like, that's not the type of brand that I want for myself online. That's not the type of content that I want to make for myself. I want to create something that is authentic to me and that people enjoy watching. It's like that's not what I want to do. And I realized I look through my For You page often and I see a lot of other people that are just like me making the same type of content. And the reason why I make that content is because I seen other people getting numbers that I want and I'm like, all right, let me do that. And that's the rat race right there. You're copying what everybody else is doing for the results that they're getting. And then when you don't get the results, you feel mad at the world, you feel mad at the algorithm, you're mad at yourself. And it's just a cycle that repeats. I feel like there's a rat race in everything. And like I said, in content creation, in entrepreneurship even. And you would think, how in entrepreneurship are you in a rat race? That's so counterintuitive because everybody used to say, to get out of the rat race, you got to start a business. And that's exactly my point. Everybody said that. Now everybody wants to start a business. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to start the same businesses, whether it's a clothing brand, an AI startup, a B2B. It's like, bro, nobody's really being original. Nobody's really doing something that feels real to them, that feels authentic to themselves. And I'm really talking to myself right now because I make these videos, at least on YouTube. And for the first time in a long time, when I have been making content, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, these daily videos have been the most, and it's only been three. This is the fourth one. But the daily videos I'm making here have given me like so much relief. I feel no stress making these YouTube videos. And for the longest time, making YouTube videos were always the most stressful part of content creation for me because YouTube is really where YouTube is like the pinnacle of content creation. It really shows you who's a true content creator and who's not. Because YouTube, it takes a lot more effort. Long form content is a whole different ball game to short form content. Instead of having to get people's attentions for 3 seconds, you got to get people's attention for 10 minutes. It's a different ball game. So YouTube has always been that problem for me. I always had a hard time even recording for 10 minutes, let alone posting a video that's 10 minutes long. But with these daily videos, I wanted to just be able to prove to myself that I can be consistent making videos on YouTube, you know, talking about whatever comes to mind. And I know everybody wants to talk about how you need to find your niche. You got to maximize, your viewership through specific things that you talk about on a daily upload. But honestly, whatever comes to mind is what I want to talk about that relates to me and that I'm really thinking of on that day. And today I'm thinking about that rat race because when I was younger, I never wanted to be in a 9 to 5 because I saw what it did to my dad. My dad, he had dementia when I was like 8 years old, and so for half of my life, I'm 20 now. Actually, more than well, hold on, he passed away 2 years ago. So when I was 18, when I turned 18, so for half of my life, more than half of my life, okay, 10 years of my life, I had a dad who was very sick, who forgot who my name, and I had to take care of him throughout my childhood, through middle school, high school, and such. So with that, I was like, and that all came from how hard he worked for so long. He was an immigrant from Nigeria, came to America, had 5 children at the time that he came. I wasn't born. Yeah, I was born here, and he had to put food on the table for 5 children and his wife. And so every day he was working from night to night. Literally, he would be up out the house by 6 a.m. before sunrise, even before the sun even rose, and would come back after the sun sets. You know what I'm saying? And it's just on repeat like a robot. And honestly, that I don't want that. I didn't want that for myself. I never wanted that for myself because I saw how it could deteriorate my health, my mental health, and my physical health, like it did my dad. So now at 20 years old, and I'm in college right now. Obviously, another thing that everybody wants to do that goes through a rat race. Enter college to get a job, a high paying job when you graduate. Right now, I'm trying to use my time in college to really be able to do something that isn't chained to how much time I have, the location that I'm at, and how much money I have. But when I'm doing content, it also feels like a rat race. It also feels like a rat race. It feels like now it's cool to make content. But when I was younger, when I used to make my YouTube, my goofy, you can still, to this day, they're on my YouTube channel. You can see them from 10 years ago. People used to clown you for making YouTube videos, bro. People didn't take it seriously. And now all of a sudden, after COVID, I guess, like it's just been a completely different ball game. Everybody wants to be the next biggest thing. And it's just like, it's another rat race created. And I'm like, dang, I study computer science. That feels like a rat race. I'm making content. That feels like a rat race. If I even want to start a clothing brand, that's going to be a rat race because everybody wants to start a clothing brand. I want to build an AI startup. Everybody wants to build an AI startup now. It's like everything feels like a rat race. And that's why I'm asking you, do you feel that way too? Do you feel like in anything you do, it's just you're on a constant hamster wheel, just running around or just running in a circle over and over and over again. Like you're just on a hedonic treadmill. You're just on a treadmill and you can't get off because if you get off, what are you gonna do? That's what I'm really trying to figure out. So right now, I'm honestly, it's only the 4th day of January. It's only the 4th day of 2026, and I'm already feeling burnt out in terms of I don't know what's my purpose with this content creation that I'm making. You know, I want to be the best. I want to be the greatest at what I do, but it's like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because everything I do, it feels like I'm just on a hamster wheel and I can't get off. And that's just me though. I don't know. I appreciate y'all for watching another video. Day 4 in the books, and peace in the Middle East, homies.